Veggie man in here. Like I said, it was a blessing to allow me to conduct this. Let me see that ginseng, man. I can't.
Yeah, this is the ginseng, sarsaparilla, and stinging nettle. Some power stuff there. The nettle is a blood cleanser, blood builder. Ginseng and sarsaparilla, they're two king herbs that speak for themselves,
Tastes good.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some music, because you an artist, you an artist. And so tell me, like, when did you first become, start being an artist? When did you first, get down that path?
Well, as a young boy growing up in Antigua, I was always into poetry and so on and so forth.
Okay.
And then it was around the hip hop era in the early 80s that me and my friends, we would get together, we were rapping and all of that. And so while the hip hop was coming in, dancehall was also rising up, So we were rapping and chanting little dancehall, we were doing all of that. But I found myself into beatboxing.
Okay.
Because I never had any vocal training, didn't play a musical instrument, but I could imitate all instruments. So I started off, literally. So I was doing, imitating all of that. So I actually started off having a lot of fun, and I got really engulfed in creating different sounds with my mouth and imitating different instruments. So I was in that space for quite most of my teenage life. And it was in the late teens that I began to really evolve out into actually chanting and rapping and so on. Because I was comfortable just doing beats and that type of stuff. So I did a lot of shows. As a young boy, 13 years old, was my first time on stage. I was at the Antigua teenage pageant at the time. And, I did quite a bit, a lot of shows as a young, between the ages of 13 and 15, 16. It was a lot of performances. And all of it was just beatboxing. And sometimes backing up artists and so on. So it wasn't until around 1994 when I met the community from Israel that I began to really write a lot more, because then I felt like I had something to say. I had some substance. But then my first album, Spirit to My People, if you listen to it, you're like, man, that was you. Because, I was just going for it. Wasn't thinking about singing in key, nothing like that. I was chanting what I think needed to be said. So my music actually evolved over the years.
Okay.
And while we had, we looked at different opportunities and different things that came up and what took place. I had to stay true to me and to my calling as an artist. And I refuse to sing anything derogatory. I'm not going to disrespect women. I'm not going to sing about drugs and alcohol. And I'm not going to disrespect my black family. So my music really remains really, really aligned with some of those things that I would not do. And now, in terms of what I see that I will do, is that my music has to promote life. It has to teach the children and give them inspiration to do the right thing, and it has to praise the Creator in all my music. So understanding that and seeing so many of our people asleep, then I began to sing about everything I could find, everything that I saw, and trying to give the answers and give the keys. And as I matured in the music, I also began to realize now that what I have as a gift from the Creator is something I have handled with real care, and there's a big responsibility that comes with it. Because no, what we put out is real, deliberate, and intentional to have a desired result. So we're putting it out in such a way that we can get the results that we want. So I'm real intentional about what I do when I sing. Every lyric, every word, the instruments that I play, real deliberate to make sure that we're putting this out there so we can get what Yah would want us to get out of it. And we can give the people what Yah would want them to have. So very intentional music.
That's dope. That's dope, man. Yeah, man. I hope I get on my album, man.
Man, let's do it.
Yeah, already
let's do it, man.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it for sure. Let me ask you this. So now, what is your top 3 favorite songs? That you would like the viewers, to go check out. What is the top 3?
Top 3?
Yeah, your top 3 favorite that you release. It could be something that's recently, or something you may release, in the past. What's your top 3 favorite? Because I'm gonna put your information down in the description and your YouTube channel and all of that. They'll be able to check it out.
Okay. My most recent album, The Next Level, is really the next level of my music, and with one of the songs in that album called Get Up and Live, I would say is one of my favorites. Because Get Up and Live is really telling all people it's time to get up and to live. I would say another favorite of mine, which is from a previous album, is called The Declaration, which is the one I declare the Holy One of Israel's name from ancient times to never change. Say the Christ's name.
This is the declaration. Yahweh's betite if taco for your geet I declare the Holy One of Israel's name from ancient times it never changed. I declare the Holy One.
And the last, which kind of comes, I wouldn't say last, but these are the top three. The Veggie Man, the song The Veggie Man. Yeah. So the Veggie Man was my soca track. It was the first. It was not the first song that I released, but the first music video. It's my second music video actually, but it's a song that was created out of such an experience, which in a nutshell, it was me selling food from the restaurant, elections in Antigua, and I had to get creative, trying to find a way to get the people who are lined up in these election lines to buy the food, and I'm trying to get where I'm telling them, hey, this is the healthiest food on the planet, you need to get this, and they're looking like vegan, vegetarian, what's that? They're looking, what's that? So long and short of it, what happened is that I had to get creative, and I started saying, this food has no moo, no meh, no oink, no clack, 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 clack. And people look at this guy because I get all animated. Yeah. And I took that on. I took that on to in something I was saying in the restaurant when I was working in Antigua, and I was telling them, come get this food, no moo, no meh, no oink, no clack. And it was a Rastafarian brethren of mine who one day said to me, he said, Ammi, he said, he heard me say it, he said, Ammi, that should be a song, man. He said, say that again, what you said? I said, well, moo. He said, yeah. I literally went back and started saying, what do you want no moo? What do you want no me? What do you want no clack, 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 the Veggie Man. And that's what the Veggie Man song came about. And later that became the title. Because back then everyone just knew me as Ammi. You know, Ammi is my people, God's people. So later we attached the title Veggie Man to it because of that song.
What do you want no me? What do you want no oink? What do you want no clack, 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 clack? The Veggie Man, the Veggie Man, the Veggie Man, come. The Veggie Man, the Veggie Man, the Veggie Man, come. No give me no beef, no give me no pork, no give me no goat.
That's a soca track.
Wow, man.
Yeah, so the three songs are across three genres because the Veggie Man is soca, the Declaration is hard dancehall, and the Get Up and Live is Afrobeat.
Wow. Yeah, man. Yeah, you got some dope songs. I like Border, Border.
yeah, guys love that too.
Yeah, man. You know, you see the music making people aware, and it's consciousness with a Hebrew undertone to it. You know, and I like it. So now. Yeah, you got another one on, you know, Sabatu.
Yeah, guys know the Sabatu. We got to dance to go to too, you know?
Yeah. I like it, man. Let me ask you this now. Do you got any upcoming, you know, music projects you're working on that the people should be looking forward to?
Yeah, we're actually working on an album right at present called The Blessing. So the Blessing is going to be, we expect it to be released in the middle of the year, during the summer months.
Okay.
So The Blessing is, it's really, while the songs touch about the cross section of life experiences, it really speaks to the way that the Creator has blessed me.
Wow.
And me giving that back to the people, sharing the blessing that I've received. You know, so that's coming, that's upcoming soon.
Yeah, that's all right, man. Don't throw me on the album.
Man, come on, let's do it. Let's get you in there.
Nah, definitely, man.
Nice.
This is the last question, man, and it's been real. It's been real, you know, conversating with you, you know, powerful conversation. And this is we're gonna do many more of this, you know, because we out here in Kenya, so I'm doing a lot more of this. You know?
I'm here, man, willing to give and serve wherever I can. You know?
And we're gonna do this work, man. Now let me ask you this: why making cultural conscious awareness music, you know, like you do? Why is that important for the Hebrew, you know, community? You know, just matter of fact, just for in the world in general, why is it important for us to make cultural consciousness music, you know, with a slightly Hebrew undertone to it, you know, to actually, you know, make people aware? Why is that important?
Well, I'll answer first in terms of why is it important for Hebrew communities, because we have to sing and express who we are, and give it to, have that encapsulated our culture.
Yeah.
And because remember when Africa was invaded and colonized, they and especially by the time we were taken away on slave ships, we lost our land, our language, and our culture. And music is an essential part of the culture, music and art. So we cannot forget too that we need to continue to express our art, and we need to have that sacred in a like sacredly packaged, so that this can be embedded in the minds of our people and our children, because our children need to know who they are. And that goes for all African tribes, not just the Hebrew tribes, but so many of them are actually descendants of African Hebrews. But this needs to be pumped into the ears of our people, because they're being bombarded with this negative stuff, with this other stuff that world media promoting a lot of negative music. So we need to push the positive information. So first of all, we need to get that in our people and our culture, so that our children get it and understand their purpose, so that they can be aligned with their purpose. And now for the wider world, we need to create music that's going to enhance life globally and give people some direction. Because right now people are being misdirected terribly with music and media. It's a lot of misdirection and controlling. Control down to the emotions, the thought patterns, the processes, the ambitions, the goals, the direction. Everything is being controlled by media. So we need to give the people a new direction and give the people hope. So we stand here not just as entertainers, but we stand here as guardians. We stand as guardians, and we have a very unique responsibility as guardians, that we have to give the people the information, the energy, the sound, the vibration that they need, that's going to cause them to rise. So that's what we need to be working to rise the people up.
We gotta put that vibration out. You're right, man. That's real. It's been real, man. And on the behalf of Children Bread NGO, the Children Bread NGO, like I said, shout out to the brothers and sisters that's in Tanzania. Shout out to the chairman over there. Shout out to the directors and everything that's over there in Tanzania. It's been a blessing to have you here, my brother.
Man, been a big blessing, bro.
Man, I appreciate you. Many more to come, man. Much work to do with each other.
Man,
much work,
man. Let's do it.
We're gonna do it.
It's our time.